Hey guys, before we begin writing our first program, I just want to explain something to you real quick. It's not really relevant to you for now, but I feel like it'll be super helpful for you to grasp. Also, it may bother you seeing it all the time, but not understanding what it is. So I'll begin with what we call a class, which has the following syntax. We all know what objects are, right? An object is something that can be seen or touched. An instance of an object would be a cell phone, computer, what else? A key, fruit, car, you get the idea. So those are like an instance, you know what an instance is, right? Instance, example, it's the same thing. So with context to programming, a class is like a blueprint for which all objects are made. So you can define a class with attributes, for example, a class of cell phone. And every cell phone has a color, right? That would be an attribute of that class. And also every cell phone has a height and it has a width. Those would also be attributes of that class. So once you give your class attributes, you can create instances of that class to make an object or to make objects. Using that one class, we can now fill in the values for the attributes we define. So if the blueprint or class has an attribute of a color, then as an object we would give it a color of red or green or yellow. So that's when we create an instance of that class object. Then we would give it, when we're creating the object, we would give it a value of red or blue. If we're talking about widths and heights, then we'd give it the necessary values like 4 centimeters height and 2 centimeters width, whatever. And so now classes also have behaviors, right? Like a cell phone rings, it calls, it plays music. We define all of that inside the class and we call that a method. So inside a class, we create a class, right? And then inside this class, that's where we would define a method. So this is how we define the method in Java. And also I want to clarify that when we write our first program, we have to write the method the way it is. We don't alter it. We don't give it a different name or whatever. It has to be written the exact same way. That is what we call a main method. So you'll see what I'm talking about better when I code it. So a class is a blueprint. Let's recap. A class is a blueprint for an object and a method is the behavior of the object. I just wanted to clarify that before we begin so that you don't keep asking yourselves questions about it. Either way, what's important to note is that we need to write our code inside there. Thanks for listening. Keep watching and stay tuned for the next video. And please subscribe and hit the like button.